Sarah, and today I thought we would talk about DNFing. What is a DNF? A DNF is a book that you did not finish. And I have heard so many different opinions about DNFing. I have read about a lot of different techniques with DNFing. I have heard people who do not DNF. It doesn't matter if they are completely hating a book. They want to finish it. If they start it, they have to finish it. I have heard of people DNFing a book after one paragraph. So it's very much a topic that is catered to your own personal taste and what you're comfortable doing. So 1000% no judgment on anybody who, it's your reading life. So you need to make it what you want it to be. So I just wanted to tell you what my view on DNFing is and kind of when I decide when to DNF a book. I'll tell you a few books that I've DNF'd recently. And then there's one that I accidentally DNF'd, but I do plan to go back to it, but I'll talk about that at the end. Okay, my views on DNFing. I have no problem DNFing a book. If I am in the middle of a book and I am not enjoying it, if I have a lot of problems with it, if I don't understand what's going on, if I loathe picking it up and it feels like a chore to pick it up, I DNF it because that makes me say, okay, I'm not enjoying this book. I'm spending all this time reading this book that I'm not enjoying. This is not a fun experience for me. That's when I decide when I'm going to put it down. Do I try to push myself to read a certain amount? Sometimes it depends. I feel like definitely if I'm halfway into a book and I'm not enjoying it at all, gone, done. Sometimes I can get a quarter of the way into a book and it's not doing it for me and I'm just not enjoying it and I don't feel interested enough to keep going. Done. So I don't put a page number on it necessarily, but I do feel like I need to get a few chapters in at least. I need to get a feel for the book, for the writing, for the characters, what's happening to be able to judge whether or not I'm enjoying it. So the page number or the percent or whatever varies from book to book. It just depends on how much I'm enjoying it and if I feel like keeping up with it or not. Basically, I guess my own philosophy for it is if I'm not enjoying a book, I don't need to be reading it because I have a ton of other books that I will enjoy. So that's what I should be spending my time on. I also try not to feel the pressure of DNFing a really popular book or a book that so many other people have loved. And if I'm not loving it, it's okay to put it down and DNF it. That's okay because not every book is for every reader. And that's something I've definitely realized. And it's funny because I will have some comments of you guys telling me that you DNF'd one of my favorite books. And I was like, what? So, but that's not every book is for every reader and that's okay. And yeah, so it's definitely interesting how these exact same book, when millions of people could love this book and I hated it. It's definitely happened. Eat, Pray, Love is probably the biggest example of that. I hated that book. I read it twice, you guys. Actually, the first time I read it, I didn't even finish it. I think we read it for a book club and I got maybe halfway through it and I just was not enjoying it at all. And then years later, I tried to give it another shot because the movie was coming out and I was like, I just need to give this book a full chance. Maybe I'll really love it, blah, blah, blah. And so I read it in its entirety and I hated it. I hated that book so much. I know I'm not alone in that. I know there's a lot of people who also have hated it, but majority of the people, especially when it first came out, loved it, swore by it. Oh my gosh. So that was interesting, definitely. And yeah, I don't know. So I'm definitely a big proponent for not finishing a book if it's not something that is bringing you joy. Let's Marie Kondo this. If it's not bringing you joy, it needs to go, right? Okay, so I can tell you some books that I have recently DNF'd that I just haven't really enjoyed. I have a little shelf on my Goodreads actually that is DNF books. So if I'm reading a book and I DNF it, I add it to my DNF shelf. So these are the ones that are on there since I have started this shelf. The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender. I didn't like the way that was written. It just was not working for me. Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. Rhythm, Chord, and Malakin by Maria Zapata. A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki, Blonde by Joyce Carol Oates, The Only Child by Mie Sao, Brightside by Kim Holden, which this has an average of 4.3. That's a really high rating. And so many people love that book. I was so bored and I got halfway through the book. I was so bored. And if I read the word dude one more time, I was over it. So yeah, no, I did not like that book at all, which is a very unpopular opinion. And then most recently, The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. I just DNF'd that last month. And yeah, I do have a book that I accidentally DNF'd, but it's still on my physical TBR because I do want to finish this book. I have to start over from the beginning because I don't remember what happened. But I started reading it. I got 200 pages into it, and then I put it down for something else, and I never picked it back up and went back to it. So yeah, book is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Like, my bookmark is still in here. Look, like 200 pages into this book, guys, and I put it down, and I don't know why I even did. I think I would just wanted to get through something faster, so I picked up something else, and then I picked up something else, and then I picked up something else, and this sat in my bedroom for months after that, and I haven't picked it up since. I don't even remember when I started this. I know we were still living in Florida. I don't know. I don't remember why. God, this is so beautiful, though. Every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's so gorgeous. And it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying it. I was, actually. But I definitely need to go back and start from the beginning and start fresh and concentrate on it because I remember there's a queen and there's an ancient dragon that gets awakened. And he's not very nice. And that's all I remember. 200 pages. That's all I remember. So I definitely need to go back and make this I'm going to read this book start to finish and concentrate on it and not put it down ever, basically, is what I need to do. So I accidentally DNF this, but I will go back and read it. So it's still on my TBR. It's still something I want to read, but yeah, whoopsies. Okay, guys, so those are my thoughts on DNFing, and I want to know your thoughts on DNFing. Are you someone who DNFs, or do you stick with it, whether you like it or hate it? Do you give yourself a certain number of chapters or a certain page number before you decide if you're going to DNF something? Let me know what your habits are down below. I would love to know that. I think it's a great discussion because everybody feels very differently and very strongly about DNFing. So I want to know what your philosophy is on it. And I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.